Man, welcome to another edition of True Spill, edition number 20. We're going to be talking about a little bit about this Fate of Fury. We're going to have our little post fight reaction and stuff like that. I know it's going to take a minute for the live to catch up to people, man, and notifications to go out and all that. So I don't really want to rush into it too much, man. But I got my brother Act Wayne with me, man. What's good with you, bro? How you doing today?
Oh man, I'm doing great, man. Got in and out the grocery store today. No problems. I do got a grocery store story though. I do have one for you today, Kondo.
Well, let me
So
get it. Let me get it.
so what happened in the grocery store today was I go to the grocery store and my Guatemalan people, they like to set up stands anywhere they go.
The Guats.
Yeah, anywhere they go. So the little girl's like, "Senor, senor, you want to try? You want to try?" And she's bringing me to her mother and father. I'm assuming, or it could have been her uncle and her mom. One of them is her parent though. So they
Mm.
bringing me. I'm trying to get my watermelon, Kano. She disturbing my peace with the watermelon. She grabbing me. I'm like, you know what? They got like a little empanada stand on it. You know what I mean? I'm just making sure, Kano, there ain't no pork or nothing in the stuff that they got in there. And I told her I'll be right there. This little girl, Kano, would not listen.
Mm.
I don't want no kids, Kano. I don't think, yo, she was ridiculous, bro. Like she stayed on my helmets, 50 other people, and she stayed on
Mm.
my helmet. But I respected the consistency because guess what? I ended up buying that chicken empanada.
You ended
I'm
up buying
talking
it on
all this trash, and guess what ended up happening? I ended
you
up
bought
buying that empanada. She stayed consistent. She said, "Yo," she just kept grabbing my like, "Yo," I'm like, "Okay, in a second." I said, "In a second, I'm a grab one." I just wanted to make sure because it wasn't that much watermelon left, especially
mm.
this particular kind that I want. I like to throw it in the freezer for a little bit, get it cold enough, make sure I got my mind on it, put it, you know what I mean, then take it out, you know what I mean, start slicing away and put it into one of my little containers, bro. You know, I like to cut my own watermelon,
Just
kind of.
want to know one thing. I just want to know one thing.
Yes, sir.
Was the empanada bomb as fuck? Was it
It was
good?
good. It was good. It wasn't the best I ever had. That is this spot that I go to near 42nd. They got better empanadas.
Mm.
They got way better. And then there's this Dominican restaurant in the Bronx. Man,
Mm.
that joint is bomb, man. That joint is good as hell. But the empanada was good. It was good. Just a little girl. I felt like they had her hustling already. That girl had to be no more than 5, 6 years old. She was on her grizzly.
Oh,
5,
oh.
6 years old. That girl was on her grind.
Oof. You read that? Did you read it?
Act, you gonna have twins, a boy and a girl. That and the lie detector determined that was a lie. I ain't having no I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Cause
You
guess
got
what, Kondo? If that did end up happening, guess who's gonna get on the plane in New York and come into the baby shower? Kondo Loco.
oh man.
Guess who coming to the baby shower? Kondo
Bro.
Loco.
Hey man, let me shout out Eric Jordan, Chocolate Thunder Tay Tay Brown, Slick Rick is up in the building, man. Frontline, my brother's in the building, man. Hey man, you in the grocery store, bro. I tell you what, man. Next time you come to Florida, man, I definitely got to go to the grocery store with you. We going to the grocery store together.
We gonna do it live.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do it live, man, because we're gonna have to catch this live in person and shit like that, you know? Crazy work, man. I'm gonna talk about these fights, man, you
Yes,
know.
sir.
But if we have time, I want to touch up on some things I did on my live yesterday as well. If we get, if we get to it and stuff like that. Because I mean, yesterday I kind of did it by myself and didn't really have nobody to throw it off on to see if they had different perspective or a different view on it, or if I was bugging or if I'm correct. You know what I'm saying? So it's always good to have that other set of ears. You know, I see Joe Townsend. Let me see. Hold on. The ice cream man. Yeah. I got him all squared away. Boxer sparring. I see you. What's going on?
I didn't get my sound effect.
Oh man, hey, we got.
That's what I'm saying. Kano slipping, man. And then the man stole my whole identity last night. He pulled up in the Batmobile. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about it though.
Oh man, listen, bro, man. Shout out to Eric Jordan, the Cash App, man. He says, tell At he is the father. That's what he said, man. I know because I was listening to you a little bit last night, although you know I'd be like having to go to bed early and stuff, man. But I was aware enough to understand that you did not catch the complete entirety of the Tio fight.
Yes, I didn't. Yes, I did.
You know, so I did hear that, man. Just because I don't type don't mean I'm not. See, this is the thing, folks. Just because I'm not typing don't mean I'm not listening. I just be a busy man, and once I start typing, my whole thing is my attention span is not great at all. If I start saluting everybody back and forth and start typing back and forth with everybody in the chat, guess what happened? I didn't hear shit y'all said then. And so sometimes I try not to just talk, and I just be like, let me click it on, let me tune in and shit while I'm laying here, you know, and relaxing and shit like that. So I did get that. That should let you know that I was listening in. That right there.
Yeah. Nah, that right there definitely told me because that was one of the things that I started the live out with.
Yeah, yep. So I'm gonna tell you something, man. I kind of differ a little bit from 503's take. Not much. I mean, yeah, he was styling on Barbosa. Yeah, he won a unanimous decision. But he looked like trash to me, bro. He didn't impress me at all, bro. He did not. I'm like, yeah, he food. He's food. Just like we always say, he's food. All that athleticism and all that, I was not. Man, listen, this whole fight card, man, because I got a whole different perspective than he did on Dev as well. But look, he did what he was supposed to do. He won the fight. No beef with that. None of that shit like that. But for him to sit there and have the audacity to fix his mouth to say he want Boots next with that type of performance, man, if you don't sit your $5 ass down for Boots make all kind of change with you, you can't fuck with Boots Ennis. I don't think you can fuck with anybody at one. Bro. Brian,
I think Surreal Matias would have whooped his ass. Luckily, he backed out of that. And now I got even more confidence in Richardson Hitchens doing his thing against him. So
I've had confidence from day one. I told you that.
Yeah. You definitely did.
I said, bro, Hitchens school that boy. I think Matias will stop that boy. You know, he moves up to 140. Brian Norman knocks him out. Boots Ennis knocks him out. He know who he fighting. He's being strategic with it. And he's fixing his mouth. But don't you know he always fixes his mouth but never fights none of these fighters?
That's true.
You know?
He remind me of the dude that always is about to fight somebody that I went to school with. His name was Ray. He was always about to fight somebody.
Yeah. And never did shit.
Yo.
Never did shit. I'm looking at this performance and I'm like, I can't hate on it, man. He won. He did what he was supposed to do to win, right?
Yeah.
But it left me like with more of an assurance. Africa schools him. Matias stops him. He goes up to 147, trying to mess with Boots. He gets knocked out. He'll get knocked out by Norman. You know, um, I don't think the card was trash. I don't know about that. I mean, I think that's a bit harsh. I don't know. We better off watching two New York sewer rats getting it in the ring than what we saw last night.
Don't do
T.O.
that. Don't do that. Who said that?
Right. Hey, I
Who
don't know.
said
Man.
that? Who said that?
I'll show it. T.O. is a master of calling out everybody and fighting nobody at the same time. That's all I'm saying. My older brother E. Ortiz is in the building, man. Did you catch any of the T.O. fight? Not even the tail end? Nothing?
I didn't. Only thing that I seen was a little clip that I seen on Twitter. Arnold Barbosa, they told me hurt him the 5th round. He did. It's like he punched with him, and Arnold Barbosa got there first with a straight right. And T.O. started kind of backing up a little bit on the ropes. And appreciate you, Eric Jordan, always showing love, bro. Appreciate you.
But I don't know, man. Like I try not to be too. I try to look at it from a trainer or a cornerman's point of view to see what the game plan is and all that other shit, you know. And that's how I try to look at the fights. I don't try to look at it as a fan because, you know, if you look at it as a fan, you might not be as entertained as you would if you're looking at it from a studying perspective, you know, a boxing perspective, looking at what game plan will work with somebody. And I'm leading into something with that, man. But before, you know what? Let's get to the Devin. Fuck it. Because I'm leading into that. I'm leading into that. You know, because I was watching it backstage with me and Shawar Layar was watching that together, and we was really frustrated with the commentary, right? We was frustrated on how they were discrediting Devin. And then I'm looking at what's going on, Shawar, and then I was looking at Twitter. I don't know why the hell I picked the phone up to look at Twitter while the fight is going on. Shawar kept telling me, put the phone down, put the phone down. They're going to frustrate you. And my dumb ass keeps picking it up and looking and seeing everybody bashing Devin. And I'm thinking to myself, I even seen one guy say that he thought it was a draw. Bro, the level of hate is ridiculous to me,
It was a draw. Where?
Bro, like I said, bro, this is what I see on Twitter and on social media, man. And bro, first let me say something, man. These are the same people that complain, saying Devin need to do more, Devin need a bit, and then when he does fight in the pocket and exchanges or gets rocked or something, you criticizing him. You criticize, oh, he got buzzed, or he got hit a little bit too much in that fight. Then he resorts back to boxing. And he ain't. It's a no-win situation, which is why I always say, Devin don't need to listen to no motherfucking person on how to fight. All he needs to do is what he did last night. Wash these motherfuckers, 12 on them, and win. Second of all, the reason he moves around a lot was part of the game plan. Okay? Everybody knows that Ramirez needs to set his foot to throw. How do you freeze a fighter like that? Movement. You don't let him settle. You freeze him. Right? That is what you're supposed to do. That is what he did. Thirdly, the other little part of the homework that he was very smart about, and people it just goes over their head because their hate for him is so bad they don't understand boxing. Devin Haney and his team understood that Ramirez was waiting for the jabs to come so they can come over with the left hook. So what does Devin do? He doesn't give him the jab. Right? He doesn't give him the jab. This is smart coaching. This is a smart game plan. This is what exactly you're supposed to do to an opponent like that. You're supposed to break all the film down and know all of his habits and use what needs to be used to get the win out of that fight, which is what Devin the Dream Haney motherfucking did last night. And people are complaining about that? You mean to tell me if you're a trainer and you're bringing in Devin Haney, you're not going to give him the same instructions? Because I would. Hey, ease up on that jab. I know you're known for the jab. I know. But he is looking for that jab to throw that hook, that left hook over it. That's what he's looking for. Yo, if he sets down, he can throw punches, move around, make him chase. Don't let him settle. I don't understand boxing 101. I don't understand how folks that are into boxing don't understand this shit. I thought he did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. I felt that he could have thrown a couple of more uppercuts in between because I was seeing him open. But hey, if he decided not to, he decided not to, man. Listen, man, big shout out to Devin Haney, man. He did a tremendous job and he followed the game plan to the T. He followed the blueprint to the T. If that is grounds for somebody to complain about him, you just really, really, really hate this man. Get that hate out of your system. Get that out of your system. That was a clear, easy, unanimous decision for Devin Haney. Anybody that says anything otherwise is a hater, a liar, and you just don't know. You don't know shit about boxing. How about that? I hate to say that because it's a cliche term, but bro, y'all showing yourselves not to know shit about boxing. But anyways, man, I digress, man. I'm gonna give the floor to you now that you heard my thoughts. What do you see? What do you think?
Um, first of all, it was kind of weird, the whole setting. I liked it. Weird in a good way, having it in the middle of Times Square, in my city. It was one of those situations where I didn't know if it could happen, but I knew if anybody had the money to make it happen, and what am I trying to say? The mental fortitude to make it happen, it would be Turkey Al Sheik. Not bigging him up, Kano. I'm just saying he did make it happen in a place that people normally wouldn't make it happen. Because if it would happen anywhere in Manhattan, normally it would have been at MSG at the Garden. But with that being said, I did get to catch this fight. The whole week I sensed a lot of nervous energy from um Jose Ramirez. I felt as though Jose uh, Ramirez, he wasn't really all the
Mm,
way locked in, and I do agree with Kano with the whole game plan situation. I still felt like Devin. I don't know what Dev felt in there because I only seen Dev get caught once, but he ate the punch. He ate the punch. It was no problem to me, no threatening situation. But again, I wasn't in there. I'm not in there. I felt like Dev could have stand there, not stand there, but like engage a little bit more. Kind
mm,
of. I wanted him to engage a little bit more because I knew the trolls was gonna use that and be like, "Oh, he's not the same mentally." That was my whole thing. I wanted Dev to
mm.
still be there mentally, which I feel like he's there because he boxed a very disciplined fight. Now, was the movement a little bit obsessive for me? Yes. And I'm gonna only say this reason why, Kano. The same people that are Dev fans ain't Shakur fans. Shakur literally knocked Joshua Padley out. And
Mhm.
they were saying, I remember the same people that's Devin people.
Can you hold that thought? I want to shout out Eric Jordan. He came
Okay,
back.
okay.
Cash App. Hope, but don't lose your train of thought right there, man. He said Devin outclassed Ramirez with boxing team DHP. Go ahead, man.
Yeah,
Shout out.
yeah, yeah. Salute to Eric Jordan, man. Um, a lot of those people were saying that Shakur wasn't engaging a lot. And then Shakur ends up stopping Joshua Padley with a bad hand in the ninth round for somebody that moves a lot, you know. So I'm just in the spirit of fairness right now. Um, I don't ever want to see no talking about Shakur moving too much or anything like that. past, present, or future. Um, I believe that Dev hurt Ramirez a few times. I think he punched very well in combination. I don't think is anything wrong with saying the movement was a little bit too much. I didn't say that he couldn't move at all. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. I just felt like he moved a bit too much, and I don't think Ramirez to me wasn't even threatening Dev. I just thought not getting that Ramirez because he was a former unified champion at 140. I just never seen where there was a threat level ever for Dev. That's how much I believed in Dev. That was just me personally. That's my only complaint about it. I just thought the movement was a bit too much.
Can I
But
say something?
outside of that, great performance. That was a shutout. I picked unanimous decision. That's exactly what I had in the fight pool. Unanimous decision for T.O., unanimous decision for Dev. So I got both my UDs right.
Mm. I will say this. I will say this because I know it's gonna sound like I'm this big Devin Haney fan and all that. Y'all know Shakur is my favorite fighter, right? One of my favorite fighters is Shakur. So when I'm saying this, I'm very consistent with my shit. When Shakur goes in there and that's boring to y'all, and I say he's doing the great game plan, and y'all keep calling it boring, I'm like, no, that's boxing. When Devin does it, it's boxing. I could do that. I'm consistent in the motherfucker with this. I don't have a problem with either one of those young men doing that. If he goes in there and does the same thing that Haney did to Ramirez to Zepeda, I'm gonna be in here saying the same exact thing. He did what he was supposed to do. Simple as that. Y'all want this, slugging fest all the time and shit.
Nah, yeah, see that I wasn't telling him to do that.
And you notice how they was trying to clown him and shit about the amount of punches that were thrown, right? They was trying to clown that, and lo and behold,
The next fight,
right? The next fight,
was even worse.
and they didn't have that same energy for it though. The inconsistency is what I'm saying. And on top of that, man, what did I say? What did I say, Shawa, yesterday? Don't nobody say. Joe Townsend just said it. But I told Shawa last night backstage, I was like, why ain't they saying Ramirez need to cut the ring off? Why ain't they putting no onus on him to cut the ring off? Ain't he a professional boxer? If you don't want somebody to style on you, don't let him get in the end zone. Ain't that what they say? We don't want somebody to style on you in the boxing ring. You better cut that motherfucking ring off. Huh? If you ain't doing nothing about it, that's your fault. Your fault. Y'all can say the output all y'all want. He won the motherfucking fight easily. Wash. I know one damn thing. If I'm making millions boxing, and I know I can box, bro, I don't give a damn how many times y'all say I'm boring. I'm gonna keep laughing all the way to the bank boxing these mugs. You hear what I'm saying to you? Bop, bop, 1, 2, bop, 1, 2, bop, and laugh to the bank. A condo. That's all I'm gonna do. And the ones who's never fought or never boxed, if they was in that position and they started making that kind of money, they would do the same thing too. Why am I trying to impress these motherfuckers? They gonna criticize me regardless. He went in there and battled with Linares, and when Linares stunned them, they didn't care that Devin Haney made it through there. They didn't care that Devin Haney still got the unanimous decision. All they cared about was that one fucking punch that rattled Devin. That's all they talked about. Why not talk about the wash he did after that? You get what I'm saying, bro? Like,
Nah, I feel where you coming from. I like the style that he fought in the Lomachenko fight. I thought he could have did that in the Ramirez fight. Yeah, Ramirez is bigger, but I don't know. I just felt like I never seen Ramirez cracked to where like he definitely don't got no one punch knockout power. Put it that way.
That is also a fact. 903 boxing. Ramirez was worried about them counters. He was very hesitant, man.
That's what I mean.
He even smiled one time when Dev landed a good 1-2 on his ass, man, which meant he felt that shit.
That's one thing I can't take away. Devin punched beautifully in combinations. Like when he did let his hands go, you know what I mean? It was looking nice. It was lovely, you know.
Mm-hmm. And so that's all I'm saying. I'm like, bro, what in the fuck? You know what I'm saying? What in the fuck, man? And listen, this next fight that happened, I am so glad to be wrong about this one.
Oh yeah,
This
let me
fight, man, bro, let me say something.
Me and you.
I'll eat that crow all day long, man. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn, bro. Rolly Romero whooped racist Ryan Garcia's ass. I'm so happy about that shit. You know what I'm saying, bro? He get a round of applause on that one right there, man. Before I keep going, though, let me see what he say. What 903 say? Also, Ramirez's future let his hands go. If you ask me, all three fights were a little lackluster, but Devin gets all the blame. I thought Ryan was very boring and gun shy. He definitely was very.
Nah, him. We didn't get to him yet. Oh, trust me, we about to rip him a new one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ha. Hey. That uppercut that Devin throwing was beautiful, man. What did I tell you, Sean? Why did I not say that last night? I was saying for him to throw that uppercut 3 rounds before he actually let it go. I was looking at that shit. Like, yo, that shit is there. That shit is there. That shit is there. You know? And it took him a couple of rounds to finally let it go. But yo, I was seeing all it, man. Listen, I felt like I was in the ring, man. That's how good my sight was last night. I was in my bag. I was in my bag, man. Act Wayne, I was in my bag, bro. I was in my bag, bro. I thought I saw I was in there. Yak. Since we're gonna go to the damn Rolly fight, yak. I'm glad I was wrong about that, man. Listen, man. I will say this, and I've said this several years ago, that I've known about Rolly being able to box, right? And people were laughing at me, thinking I was crazy, man. I said, Rolly could box. What I don't understand is, I think I said it on one of the lives with you, right? I could have been.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah. I think it could have been. It could have been.
Because I was like, I don't know why he does it in the gym and doesn't do it in the ring.
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah, I remember you saying something like that.
I was like, if that man ever brings that Rolly into the ring, he's gonna be a problem. I said the Rolly I've seen in the gym, the boxer, if he brings that into the ring, which he hasn't done up until last night, he gonna be a problem. He finally brung it to the ring, bro. He finally brung it to the ring, and how was I gonna know he was gonna do that, right? How did I know? I didn't know. That's why I picked Ryan to win. I eat crow over that. I'm happy to eat crow about that. You know? But it proved my point that he does have that in his bag. He actually showed a lot of ring IQ last night and boxing abilities that nobody else was saying he had it. You know what I'm saying? I knew he had it in him. I just didn't see him bring it to the ring. You know? And the other thing we cannot overlook, right? We cannot overlook is why them left hooks didn't come out from Ryan as fast as they used to. Why did his punches not have as much effect as they used to? Oh, it's only a little bit Osterine. It's only a little bit of Osterine. Bro, that man cannot fight unless he's juiced. That man cannot fight unless he's juiced. Trash. Ryan Garcia, trash. Unless he's juiced. Bro, whoever fight him next better make sure they drug test him. Because that man was sitting in the car crying after that fight, bro.
Shoot. You the way he used to be shitting on Rolly, excuse my language, but it's straight up like that. Yeah. I would have cried too if I was always throwing mud on Rolly's name and stuff like that. So yeah, man. My fault not to cut you off. You could continue
No,
your point, Kano.
hey,
I'll go
hey,
when
you,
you
you know
done.
what? You know what made me even more happy, man. What made me even more happy is the folks was like, "Yeah, watch out for Ryan's left hook. Watch out for Ryan's left hook." And then Rolly drop him with a left hook. Bop! Hey, take this one with you. What you watch for my left hook, man? Ah, clock. Here you go. Sit your ass down. Know what I'm saying? And Rolly kept his hand up, bro. He wasn't allowing. He had his. Hey, he was holding that phone, bro. He was not gonna allow Ryan to get off that left hook. He took away the left hook entirely. That was it. It was over for Ryan. First, he was shook because when he got dropped, he was hesitant after that. His confidence was shot and gone. He was gun shy. He didn't want to just rush on in there. And then the second thing is, he did not have the opening no more. He did not have that opening because Rolly did not give him that opening. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? I just want the truth. He couldn't even fight Juiced. Not truth be told, man. If people would keep it a buck and shit, man. The only rounds that he beat Devin was when he knocked him down. He got outboxed the rest of the rounds. That's another thing that blows my mind that people don't, you know. Rolly was well disciplined last night in this fight. It's a first time seeing Rolly fighting right. But you know what should have been a dead giveaway for me that he was gonna. I was dumb. I ain't gonna lie. 903 said, I was shocked at the discipline Rolly had defensively. Let me tell you something, 903. I knew he had that, right? This is why I say I fucked up. Okay, this is where I say I messed up, and I should have paid attention to this, and I would have been swayed to pick Rolly to win this fight, man. What was it? His calmness. He was so calm during the whole week. He wasn't doing a whole lot of talking. He wasn't trying to sell the fight. He wasn't doing much and shit in the press conferences. He was just, I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. Man, when I seen him that calm, I should have known. I should have known that was a dead giveaway. That this man, and the other thing is, he already knew he could whip Ryan's ass because he whooped his ass in sparring. His confidence was already to like, bro, just another day in the office for me. I did it to him in the boxing gym. I'm gonna do it to his ass again now. And what? I'm gonna show you that the sparring wasn't no fluke. I'm gonna show you that the sparring wasn't just sparring. I really like that, Ryan. I'm better than you, Ryan. And when he did drop Ryan, I think Ryan got flashbacks of the sparring session. It was over. It was over, man. His whole mentality was gone. Gone. But the reason I say I was dumb because I know how Rolly is. I've seen Rolly in the gym. I've seen the work he's put in. You know, and what always got him derailed was he was always trying to do too much leading up to the fights and shit and doing all this talking and not being focused and not bringing his boxing in there. And by him being calm like that, I'm like, damn, I should have picked up on that. Yo, like I'm coming in here for real, for real. I'm about to fight for real, for real. And not only that, the moving up in weight where he's not drained and shit no more served him well. It served him well. All these little nuances play a big factor in there, man. So it's a good crow for me to eat, man. I'm gonna stop running my mouth. I'm gonna give it up for Wayne and let him talk, man.
Nah, I agreed with everything you said. Only difference between me and you is the physicality at the weigh-in. Rolly was like Rolly was looking like a comic book character. He was looking like so, you know what I mean? That like physically, pause, you know what I mean? That was the best I ever seen. Like Rolly was looking real, you know what I mean? I was like, and we kept bringing that up. We was like, yo, Rolly looked strong. Rolly looked real strong, you know? And when I seen Ryan get dropped the second round, the irony of everything, Kano, I'm not gonna lie to you, was he can't protect. Remember the whole Devin thing. Devin can't protect himself from the left hook. The left hook. Ryan got dropped with a double left hook by Rolly. That was the irony of the whole situation. If the boxing gods I didn't believe they was real and I was just blowing hot air. Last night proved to me that the boxing gods are real because Rolly won that fight. It was a shutout. I don't know what the judges was talking about. I was real happy for Rolly because Rolly was kind of in the situation to me that Daniel Dubois was in, where he lost. He took a big tough loss to a person he wasn't supposed to lose to with Pitbull Cruz. Daniel Dubois' situation was Joe Joyce, and now he came back with a big emphatic win, and that's what happened with Daniel Dubois also. So much credit, much respect to Rolly. I loved his patience in this fight. He probably swung once wild because he thought he could catch Ryan, but after that he stopped. He said he actually hurt his shoulder, so that's why he, didn't wild out the rest of the fight. He said he hurt his shoulder in the beginning, but very happy for Rolly. He was very calm. He was very patient. The whole build up to the fight, a lot of us, including myself, we thought that he was going to possibly lay down because Rolly wasn't acting like himself. But we was wrong. That had nothing to do with the outcome and how the fight ended up playing out in the fight. Rolly, like I said, he was very calm. He dropped Ryan in the second round. Ryan looked at like dog doodle. Like bad. Like you talk about somebody not letting their hands go. At least Devin did let his hands go. Ryan didn't let his hands go at all. You got Derek James in the corner trying to will him back into the fight. It remind me of you getting it in Kano, and then you catch a Charlie horse. You got to will yourself. Not to be inappropriate. Shower, cover your ears. You got to will yourself back in there and man up. He couldn't do that.
Hold on. Hold on. Listen, I catch a Charlie horse. I'm pulling my Glock out. That's gonna will me out of all problems right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, my older brother said Ryan need to figure out if he wants to be an IG model or a boxer. He can't be both. He's not it. I keep telling folks he ain't that it.
Yeah,
man.
we never really thought, and that's one thing I could say about all the usual suspects too. Even Kano, nobody that I know, even on this panel right now, we never thought too crazy of Ryan. Ryan he was on. It's looking like everything was true. He was on steroids. And he couldn't will himself into that fight. And neither could his corner, neither could Derek James. He made Derek James look terrible. And another thing that I didn't know that I might have picked Rolly off of, and nobody brought it up, I didn't know that he only had 5 weeks with Derek James.
Hey man, listen, bro. Hey, I'm glad it happened that way because Derek should have never trained that racist motherfucker to begin with.
He didn't. I heard that he didn't really want him. He was trying to work with Eddie Reynoso again. He said the only reason why he didn't get Eddie Reynoso because Eddie Reynoso had to be in Saudi with Canelo. He ain't get Canelo his mans. He grew up with Canelo. He been training Canelo since he was 16. Eddie Reynoso ain't gonna leave Canelo for Ryan. He told him he couldn't do it because the fights is literally a day apart. He couldn't do it. So he had to go back to Derek James. And Derek James wasn't going to say no because he got to keep the lights on. He ain't got Earl and Charlo there no more. He got Alicia Bumgarner, but Alicia Bumgarner just got added.
Yeah, like I said, I lost respect for Derek James once he did that, man. I don't understand how people could be comfortable around working with somebody that just blatantly showed you the racist self, bro. I just don't understand the comfort level of people to be able to do that. It doesn't fit in my mind. I don't get it. It doesn't plug into me, man. Maybe it's I'm too old school, man, but that just couldn't. I could never be in a room with somebody like that. I couldn't even be in the same room with them, much less work with them, bro. You said what you said, man. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Let me
that's a fact.
wrench up underrated darkness and shit. I see you in the building, bro.
Yo, salute,
Get us
salute,
going.
underrated. Salute.
But hey, you know Derek ain't gonna work around after this fight anyway. We know this, right? We know this, right? It just ain't
Uh
gonna happen, man.
903, to your point, the only person that was defending and Mike Coppinger, that's sad that Mike Coppinger was the only person on code. He was the only one that kept bringing up the steroids.
Yep.
Mike Coppinger was, I don't know if Ryan said something crazy to Mike Coppinger, but Mike Coppinger was ripping Ryan the whole buildup. He kept saying like, yo, nah, he got busted. Yo, I kept hearing that the whole, he was the only one defending Dev, and he was the only one ripping Ryan. Mike Coppinger was the only one. But Antonio Tarver, I'm sorry, Kano, with your Florida brother. Nope, he wasn't it. Don't get me wrong. I like his analytical breakdowns, but he wasn't it. Jim Lampley, why did y'all bring that man back? Why did y'all bring him back? I thought we was done and over with this dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I thought that was like 8 years ago. We was done with this guy.
Shout out to Stay Ready Boxing. He picked Rolly.
Not him and D-Man. D-Man did too. But that was because they hate Ryan so much. It wasn't a calculated, and I love D-Man and Mac to death, but it wasn't no calculated pick. It was off of the fact that he hate Ryan, so both of them hate Ryan so. That's why I asked, did they pick Arnold Barbosa since they hate T.O. so much? Or they don't hate T.O. as much? Because T.O.'s just as racist. He may even be more, because he's always mentioning black people.
That part right there. That part. Yep. I agree with that shit, girl. I know what she's talking about. I agree. That's why Tarver was on that bullshit. But anyway, whatever, man. Whatever, man. I ain't defending Tarver, bro. What? Because he no, bro. I don't defend that kind of shit, bro. You know? I don't defend that kind of shit at all, man. But anyway, man, now that we done got the fight card out of the way, man. What I was talking about yesterday, and I don't care if it gets redundant to people, bro. I really don't give a fuck, man. It's my channel, right? But I was having a back and forth debate. Well, I was typing while they were live though, so it wasn't like I could really get my shit off. You know what I'm saying?
He not from New York, Joe Townsend.
Oh man, you know what? Hey, stop. Let's stop right here. Just stop right there. Stop. Let's change the subject, bro. Let's change the subject. Let's move away from that because we're not gonna agree with that, and neither one of us want to claim them. Neither one of us ain't claiming that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying, man? They were talking about how Edgar Berlanga ducked Trevor McCumbee.
Come on. All right, let me get something to drink, Connell. Go ahead, break that down. I'm coming right back.
Okay, but I just want to kind of get your take when you get back. All right. This is why I don't understand this shit, right? Let me get this shit out. So this is the guy that they say Berlanga supposedly ducked. And the only name he's fought in his whole career is Caleb Plant. Everybody else, look at this, 44 and 10. 17 and 3, 25, 20 and 15, 27 and 8, 12 and 9. Look at this. 23-11. Look at this. Look at this. Does
All right.
McCumbee? Who does McCumbee have on his record other than a loss to Caleb Plant? Right? Who? So how is it? Let's get Edgar Berlanga. Oh shit. Let me see if it'll pull up his box right here. Right? So now let's go to Berlanga, right? He lost to Canelo Alvarez. We get that, right? We get that. But let me tell you who would have beat Patrick McCrory would have beat McCumbee. Jason Quigley would have beat McCumbee. Okay? I think Angulo would have beat McCumbee. Steve Rose would have beat McCumbee. Damon Nicholson would have beat McCumbee. Okay? He's got several names on his resume that will beat McCumbee's ass. And you're telling me that Berlanga somehow ducked Trevor McCumbee? What do you make of that?
Yo, man. First of all, who said that?
He live in New York, your boy Norbs. Norbs. You asked?
Norbs talk about boxing?
Yeah, well, he talks ridiculous about boxing. He the one who had Devin a draw. We need to talk to Norbs, bro.
You gotta send me Norb's page, man. Norbs is bugging. He needs to stay in battle rap.
I'll do one better. I'll give you his fucking phone number. At this point, I don't know what he's talking
about, bro. Dude, should you got the line opened up? Could he call in?
Ooh, man.
You gotta explain that to me, bro.
Let me see something. God damn it.
But to answer your question, no, I don't see how he's ducking Trevor McCumbee. McCumbee just lost, and McCumbee is about to fight Pacheco. Is about to fight Diego Pacheco. So what are we really talking about? What are we really talking about?
You know what? Where's he at, man? Where's he at? Oh, he had his shit silenced, man.
Oh, okay. So he must be doing something.
He got his folder set. Notify anyway, god damn it. I'm gonna make that motherfucking phone bounce. Bitch.
You can't be fighting Pacheco tied up in a situation. And then we're seeing the potential possibility of Edgar Berlanga actually about to fight Hamza Shiraz. Hamza Shiraz will beat McCumbee moving up. Easy. I will put money on that fight. Easy. That's a way better opponent.
He said give him 5 minutes.
That's a way better opponent than than Trevor McCumbee. And it's not like McCumbee beat Caleb Plant. He ended up getting didn't he get stopped? Didn't Caleb Plant stop him?
I believe
so. Like, what are we talking about? And as far as Pacheco, I don't even like that fight for Pacheco. I think that fight is a waste of time. And I think actually he's hustling backwards fighting Trevor McCumbee. Because who was he supposed to fight? And then he pulled out the fight?
I don't remember.
He was supposed to fight. Oh my God, I forgot. Oh, he was supposed to fight Christian and Billy. He was supposed to fight Christian and Billy in a title eliminator. And somebody got cold feet like prom night. And he ended up fighting Trevor McCumbee. I don't like that. That made me, and I'm a Diego
And bro,
Pacheco guy. I
did
like
anybody know who
Diego
McCumbee
Pacheco.
was till he fought Caleb Plant? Did they?
Yeah, I remember McCumbee. I remember him on Pro Box. I remember
Let
him
me
because
let
he
me
was on a few Pro Box cards. But I didn't know him
let
until
me
them
ask
Pro
you a
Box
better question
cards.
because I watched Pro Box, so I knew him. I knew him, right? Them names that I mentioned that I said would beat McCumbee. Do you agree with or disagree?
I agree. And I also agree that Hamza Shiraz, moving up to
Better
68,
fight. Yep.
would beat him. So that's the part that Norbs is going to have to explain to me. The potential fight of him fighting Hamza Shiraz, who has a bigger
Mhm.
name than McCumbee and still undefeated, or we fight Trevor McCumbee, and what has Trevor McCumbee done? And like you said, his biggest fight was Caleb Plant in a fight that he lost. That it doesn't make sense. This is why, like I said, I love Norbs when it comes to the battle rap scene, but lead the
Hey man,
boxing
he
to
said give him
us.
5 minutes, so I'm gonna make sure that we wait on him. I'm gonna make sure that we wait on him because he also tweeted yesterday that he saw Devin and Ramirez as a draw. So I got to ask him what fight he was looking.
And I seen Connor Ben and Eubanks as a draw, but nobody listening to me.
Yeah, this is my whole thing, man. You know, they try to say he ducked McCumbee for Mantequilla. He didn't want to fight Mantequilla. That was some bullshit that Eddie Hearn did to Berlanga. That wasn't some. He didn't want to fight him. He didn't want to fight that dude. You know, that was them trying to sabotage them some. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't enough. McCombie versus Pacheco will be an exciting fight though. McCombie comes to fight, and Diego is willing to engage, so the fight will be action packed. No snooze fest on. I'm never snoozed out though. I've never snoozed out in these fights. I'm not, but my point is, man, that there ain't no way you could say Berlanga duck that. Yes, this doesn't make any.
To be honest with you, that's the type of fight everybody would get at. Well, at least everybody in our culture would be getting at for Belanga to
Right.
fight in McCumbee. If he made that fight with McCumbee over Shiraz, they'll be talking crazy about Belanga. Oh, he still ain't fighting nobody. He going off of this Lost Canelo tour, and this is that and the third. That's all you be
Mhm.
hearing right now.
I got a feeling Norris is gonna duck us, bro. I got a feel like I texted him though, bro. I swear to God, bro.
Well,
Oh,
this what you do then. Whenever Norbs do his
Yeah,
podcast,
what up? Oh, shalom.
oh, he here.
Let
Okay,
me fix
okay.
my let me fix my stuff. What's up?
what's going on, man? What's going on,
What's
Norbs?
good?
Hey,
What's
man,
good?
this is my New York brother up here, Act Wayne, right?
How you doing, my man? How you doing?
Yes, sir.
I'm good.
What's good? What's going on, brother?
He got
What's
some
going
questions
on?
for you, man. He do.
Yeah, shoot, man, shoot.
Okay. So this is what I
What'd you
heard.
hear?
I heard that you feel like Balanga
I didn't
ducked
say that. What I said
McCumbee.
was McCumbee said that they were in conversation to have a fight, and I would have preferred to have seen that fight, but it didn't materialize. I didn't say he ducked him. That's not what I said.
Okay. All right. So I got
Okay.
interpreted wrong. Okay. So you would have preferred to see that fight over him fight. You
Yes,
know who
yes.
Hamza Shiraz is? Okay. You would have preferred him to fight McCumbie
I'm
over
gonna tell you
Hamza
why, and,
Shiraz?
and again, I like McCumbee, and I like what he did against Caleb Plant. I love the fact that he came forward. He kind of, he put a plan on his ass a couple times. I just feel like it would have been a fight that is winnable for Edgar and also exciting and kind of gives him what he's looking for in terms of a knockout or a possible good fight. I like him. I really do like McCumbee. I think. Listen, there's certain fighters that hold certain value, right? And I feel like when it comes to Edgar Berlanga,
Okay.
he hasn't been able to showcase his full skill set. I've been one who's shitted on him multiple times because I feel like he's been in love with the knockout. And I speak to Kano about this shit all the time. I remember when Kano's the one that introduced me to Edgar. Okay. So he's the one that was like, yo, this kid can box, he can do this. These are the things that I thought Kano was smoking dust on until I spoke to Eric. No, I swear to God, until I spoke to Eric Roman Sr. and he confirmed everything Kano was saying. So to me, I feel like, maybe it was taken out of context what I said, but excuse me, but I'd like to see him go back to what brought him there. And I feel like he fell in love with the knockout. So I feel like McCombie having such a good fight with an opponent that he wants to eventually get in the ring with, right? Which is Caleb Plant. If he goes in there and let's say he does what he has to do, let's say he stops him. I felt like that was a great opponent. And I like McCombie. I like he brings the fight and things of that nature. I mean, Sharice is cool. He might be the bigger name. I just felt like, after interviewing
okay, you're saying stylistically. You was going.
I would have liked. I think that would have been a really good win
okay.
for him. I'm just being honest.
This is the thing, though, right here, Norbs, and you should appreciate this, though, Norbs, man.
Yeah.
If he would have took the McCombie fight, you know how badly they would have been crucifying.
Yeah, why do you think so?
Over the
yes. He's right.
I like.
He's right.
Man, Shiraz will be a better opponent, bro.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think Shiraz will be a better opponent. I just don't. I think
shitted on him, man, over that. If it would have,
probably
it would have shitted on him bad, bro.
I like Trevor McCombie. He has a great amateur background. He took a couple years off. I thought he was really good against Caleb Plant. I just think Caleb Plant outsmarted him and showed his veteran prowess over him. But I was impressed by McCombie. I thought McCombie was really good in that fight. I thought he was better than when I saw Sharice with that draw that he had. I'm just being honest with you.
Well, then, if you want to give McCombie a chance, I got a name that's better than Plant and McCombie. How about Plant and McCombie? Let Kevin Newman get some of that work, huh? How about that?
And listen, I like Kevin. I think Kevin's a really nice guy. I think he's a very good dude. But the last couple performances, and I know you're good friends with him, right? But one of the fights, they gave him a garbage bag in front of him. And the commentators were kind of mocking him, saying he's trying to fight like Roy. And I feel like he has to create his own identity. And I feel like he's going to continue to get ducked. And he's just got to continue to do what he does. But I like Kevin. I think Kevin has a lot of talent. But, he has to do something to, separate himself from Roy, in a sense, in my opinion, what people are saying. And he has to get a fight. I don't know how he's going to get that big fight. I don't know why he can't get a big fight, especially with somebody as legendary as Roy Jones being his trainer. I don't know who's his manager, but I'd like to see it. But again, McCombie had a major fight with Caleb Plant. Newman has not. And again, Newman wanted to fight what's his name? Berlanga. You know what I'm saying? They had their back and forth. That never materialized. Listen, I want to see Kevin get his opportunity.
You know why, though? You know why?
I heard the rumors.
Oh, so you know what went on behind the scenes?
Didn't they spar or something? And Kevin got the best of him, and
and he sparred Plant too, and dropped him in there.
But listen, he has to do something. I don't know what he has to do in order to get his opportunity. But
they're not going to give him an opportunity when they're getting schooled in the gym. If he keeps school, I told him, quit sparring these fools.
Yeah,
you keep schooling their ass, they're not gonna want to fight you.
No, listen.
I think he's just gonna have to get in position in one of them sanctioning bodies and get that title eliminated.
Listen, I'm with you. And the problem with the rankings, and I was interviewing my man Iceman Scully. Shout out to him. He said the way these guys hit their rank is insane. They literally, their managers show up to these little conferences. They have like a room, and they vouch for their fighter. I should be at number 8. My fighter should be at number 9. It's literally done like that. It's not even a legit way to do it, but it's based on politics. Think about it. Berlanga went from suspension,
politics and money,
from suspension to the number 1 contender against Canelo. No disrespect to Edgar, but what did he do to get to that? And that's my point. And Kevin has to find somebody like Kevin Connolly or somebody to put him in that position. And that's why I find it weird with Roy Jones behind him that he cannot get a big opportunity. I don't understand. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay, Norbs, we got another question
Yeah,
that we wanted to ask you. You
yeah,
obviously you watched the fights last night. Um, you said that you
yeah.
had a
I had a
fight a
draw between
draw. Which
Hernandez,
fight
was it
was
Ramirez? I think his name is,
which one?
and then yeah, it was the
Ramirez and
absolute.
Dev?
I'm gonna tell you why.
How?
I'm gonna
How,
tell you why.
bro?
It was first of all, they both landed combined the least amount of punches in a 12-round fight in the history of boxing on one of the biggest stages of all time. Neither of them did anything to win the fight. So how in the world were we giving Devin the rounds for playing Dancing with the Stars? I really thought that Mario, what's his name, the guy from Saved by the Bell, was going to come out and start competing against them. What round did you actually give Devin Haney in that fight? Which dance move did you like?
I thought it was a shutout. I thought he
You
pitched a
picked the
shut. He did
shutout?
more than what Ramirez did. I didn't
Listen,
really see
neither of them
Ramirez
did.
throw anything.
But at least Ramirez was trying to go forward.
But Devin threw more
This
than
was one
him.
of the most embarrassing performances that I've ever seen a professional at the level of a fighter I've ever seen in my life. Period. On
But
both.
you didn't see the same thing,
Ryan, at
Ryan,
least,
in the
hold on.
next fight.
Ryan
Ryan was
hold on.
worse. That
Ryan
actually
got
scored
beat.
lower than that
Listen,
fight.
Ryan got
That
beat.
was.
Both of them did nothing to win the fight. Ryan got beat. He got dropped. Slowly landed shots. Devin Haney's best moves would have been put on a dance video. This was the worst performance that it gave me Adrian Broner after Maidana vibes. That's what it gave me. It was terrible. Connor, do not tell me you were impressed by this. Please, Connor. I will hang up right now.
You know what? I'm going to agree with you. This man needs to stick to battle rap.
What did he impress you with, Devin Haney, last night?
Go ahead, Connor. I'm gonna let you
tell
take the
me.
wheel on this one because there's no talking to Norbs. No, I know Norbs
I don't
do
even.
the battle
I've never
rap
done battle
coaching,
rap.
not
Continue.
personally. But
Yes,
Connor, please tell me, what did he do to have you say he won that fight?
he outboxed him. Simple. He outboxed him.
Do you want me to play? Do you want me to pull up the video of the entire fight?
Bro, I've watched the fight. What are you talking about?
It was one of the most embarrassing performances that I've ever seen. Jim Lampley landed more blows in that fight than Devin Haney. Period. This was the most. I'm sorry, and I love Bill Haney. I'm a big Bill Haney fan. But this was one of the worst performances that I've ever seen in my life. Period. I honestly would have judged the entire fight 9-9, the entire fight. It was absolutely atrocious. How do you give Devin any rounds? How do you give Ramirez any rounds? I would have had it a draw the whole way. It was fucking absolutely disgusting.
I seen Dev landing combinations and stuff. How many times did you watch the fight?
Are you saying combinations like in like when you're playing with your daughter on a video game and a dance video, those type of combinations?
I got the sense that you must not be a big Devin fan.
No, I love Bill Haney.
But loving Bill doesn't mean you love Dev. No,
Devin is a very good fighter. This was not Devin. Devin didn't fight behind his jab. He literally didn't want to engage. He was petrified the entire fight.
You know why he didn't throw the jab? It was
fighting by design to fight somebody from The Walking Dead. This guy was done. He was basted. Turkey, stick a fork in him. He was absolutely done.
This is crazy, man.
This is an opponent that he was supposed to take out impressively.
Crazy.
You were impressed, Connor? Connor, you were impressed.
Yes, I was.
Take your Puerto Rican flag down if you were impressed.
Wow.
You were impressed by Devin Haney. You were the only person alive that was impressed by that performance.
I don't think so. I don't think I'm alone on that.
Do you have social media? Were you on Twitter? Did you listen to Jim Lampley say when they call him Devin the dream?
Don't listen to them.
You have to speak in order to dream.
As a motherfucker. I can't listen to Jim Lampley.
I'm gonna listen.
Jim was the best thing on the show last night.
Come on, bro. You crazy as hell.
I actually rather Mike Coppinger. Mike Coppinger was the only one keeping it real.
So you two guys are telling me you weren't impressed by that performance.
I didn't say overly impressed, but he won.
It was
I'm debating the fact with you about the draw. I didn't see no draw.
It was
Devin clearly
it should have
won.
been scored 9-9 the entire way. It was one of the worst performances I've ever seen. And then to go and mock Ryan Garcia after a performance like
Yeah,
that.
because Ryan Garcia looked it like shit.
Yeah, he did. I'm not.
It's
making
not
it-
like he had a good performance. You know what I
both
mean?
had
And he
shitty
deserved
performances. They both, but dog, this
At least Devin tried more than he did.
he tried. He tried to do what?
He actually threw punches.
How many
I
punches
didn't
did he
see
throw?
Ryan throw a punch, and I'm
broke
not
a
talking about
record.
Rolly.
He
I'm
broke a
talking about
record.
Ryan. Ryan didn't do shit.
Bro,
Like his corner literally is trying to will him back into that fight, bro.
that's a whole nother that's a whole nother subject. He should have never been back with Derrick James. It was a whole thing. Let's get back to what Devin impressed you with. What exactly did Devin Haney impress? Connell, you're losing a lot of credibility. You need to put a Dominican flag up there and take that Puerto Rican flag.
Oh,
You are not. You are tripping tonight.
He be
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
I love Connell. Connell, I love this guy. This guy is a very knowledgeable boxing dude. Anytime I need something, I call him. But Connell was definitely drinking an extra amount of coquito this morning if he believes that Devin was good last night.
He
I
did.
just spoke to various fighters right now, and they're like, we don't know what's going on with Devin.
He won the fight decisively. That's what happened with Devin.
He won
What's
decisively.
wrong with that?
It was by far he gave me Adrian Broner vibes. Adrian Broken Fighter vibes. That's what he gave me.
Yeah, you might
Broken
need
Fighter vibes. So you would tell me right now you would pay for a fight with Devin and who right now? Who would you pay for?
I'd like to see Devin, get his get back on Ryan's
Yeah,
team.
me too.
Oh,
Me too.
That's off
Me
the
too.
table right now. That
Me
is off
too.
the goddamn table right now. Turkey Al-Asik was ready to take a giant shit on the stage after that Devin performance. Did you see that man's face? Embarrassed. Connell, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I don't even know. You gotta go back to battle rap. What's your name, sir? I'm sorry. What's your name? I apologize. No disrespect. I'm sorry.
I just watch it. I just been watching it for years, like the whole smack and stuff like that. No. Look, bro. This is what I'm saying, Norbs. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying Devin did at least something to win the fight. Ryan didn't even try yet. You're not taking a dump on Ryan right now. I feel like you got to keep that same energy.
We were talking.
You got to keep that same energy with Ryan because
at least Ryan was throwing punches with some type.
No, he was not. No, he was not. He didn't do anything. That's why that fight ended up becoming the lowest scoring above the Devin fight, the fight before it.
You think that Devin fought a better fight?
Yes, I think Devin fought a better fight.
Oh, absolutely.
Let me ask you a question.
Way better fight. He actually landed shots. I didn't see Ryan land anything outside of when Rolly came in close and he clinched.
Rolly just beat him.
And he threw.
He
that was it. That was the only thing I seen him land.
What I was picturing when I was watching the Devin fight was them putting out one of those cardboards because they were in Times Square, throwing the cardboard on the floor and breakdancing. I was waiting for everybody to jump in.
I'm not from that era, sir.
This was the absolute worst performance Devin Haney has ever put on. It was terrible. I was expecting him to start doing backflips, all types of dance moves in that fight. He put me to sleep through the other. I mean, it was atrocious. It was atrocious. I'm sorry. T1, I don't know who that guy is. T1, what's up? Somebody's on?
That's my bro. Okay, what's up, Underrated? What's up, bro?
How you doing, brother? Nice to meet you.
He originally from New York too.
All right. What part? Oh, that's my guy already.
I'm gonna let y'all cook when I get my strap. I hear the dog barking.
No. Take that flag down. I'm upset at you right now. I'm very upset at Connor right now. I really thought that they were gonna bring out a boombox and let Devin just dance the rest of the way. He was dancing so much that his bootstrap unloosened in the first round. It was absolutely one of the worst performances.
So because Devin was look, I thought he moved a little bit, a lot, but I still thought he won. I didn't think it was a draw.
It was one of the
Ryan. What Ryan did, Ryan literally laid an egg. Get a main event, bro. At the end of the day, Devin was the co-main. Ryan was the main event. I expected more from Ryan.
Let's be honest. This event was built around the rematch between Ryan and
It was. You're right. I'm not going to disagree. I'll agree with you on that. I'm a fair man.
Ryan just happens to be the bigger name, but to be honest with you, if you thought that was by design, he was fighting somebody from The Walking Dead, and he looked absolutely shitty.
Oh my God, Norbs! I didn't know you was a hater like this, bro. Oh my God. Oh my God! I hope you don't be doing this now when you're talking about battle rap.
I don't even talk about battle rap.
Let me give a shout out to Eric Jordan, man, in the Cash App. Yes, I agree with you, Eric Jordan, man. And before we continue, man, look, Norbs, I've known him for a lot of years. Yeah. He was into the battle rap world and stuff like that. I take Norbs with a grain of salt when he talks.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Get out of here.
I honestly believe you can if you want, Stormy. I honestly believe that Norbs is trolling right now.
I'm not trolling. I swear to God.
Trolling.
What's the guy's name? What's the name from Brooklyn?
Underrated Darkness.
Underrated Darkness. How you doing, brother? Were you impressed by not by Devin's dance moves, but were you impressed by his performance last night?
Yes, bro. Yes, I was. He want to throw the more cleaner punches. He got the Ramirez was just there, just in the mirror. He just wanted to get hit.
Thank you.
He was just there, wasn't throwing no punches. I'm saying that he cannot cut the ring off. He just put his hands up. For me, you just putting your hands up for what? You ain't doing nothing. So it was just target practice.
It wasn't target. He was running the entire time. He didn't even attempt to fight.
Where? But I'm saying where?
Listen, underrated. What about Ryan? What did Ryan do?
I'm in the Twilight Zone right now.
You mean the humping man? I don't care about the humping man. That racist piece of shit. Fuck him. I'm glad he lost. And I told you know what?
I'm happy for Rolly.
Yeah, me
you was
too.
on my chat, and I say if Rolly box, Ryan's going to lose.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. I'm glad he lost. I'm happy he lost. And then they take on that white. He's crying like a little.
Come on.
He got care.
He was. No,
that wasn't fair.
Stop trying. Don't clean it up.
I really thought.
They ain't feel bad for Devin last year.
Trying to juice out in your
I really thought at one point Mario Lopez was going to jump out and give him the dance title of the year. I really believed Devin showed me some of the best dancers in his
career. That's way before my time.
But I know you're trolling now. You just trolling.
Dude, I'm not trolling. Go to Twitter. X. Go everywhere. Devin Haney's performance really. I'm just being honest. It made me look at him like he's a damaged fighter.
All right.
How was he damaged? And Ryan, the one that got put on the canvas.
We always knew Ryan was damaged, though.
Oh, okay. Let's be honest. You keeping that same energy with that.
But at least, listen. My concern with Devin is this, and I'm just being 100% honest. Devin was never someone that got on a bike like that, right? Devin controlled people with his jab, controlled the distance, used his size. That's why he always bulked up to 165 for a great fight like that.
Do you know why he didn't use the jab? Do you know why he didn't use the jab, sir? Let me see how much boxing you know.
Why he didn't use the jab? Yeah. Because he was going against my grandfather in there. That's why.
Wow.
The guy was.
Wow. Norbs is the ultimate hater.
That's done.
Norbs is the ultimate.
Listen, man, I'm sorry. Listen, Gano, you must be a really big Devin fan. That was.
He's not. Nah, he ain't. He's a Shakur fan. He's a Shakur fan.
Right.
Oh my God. He made Shakur look like an action fighter last night. Are we fucking serious right now?
Let me ask you a question. How many punches Ramirez threw?
I said they combined, broke a record. That's why I called it a draw. It was a draw, goddammit.
I was asking you.
Draw.
Why did he throw that jab? Do you know why he didn't throw that jab?
Tell me, Mr. Technical, please tell me.
The reason he didn't throw that jab was by plan and by design. He knows that Ramirez was looking for the jab so he can hook over it with his left.
Right.
was smart of him.
Yeah, if the jab is lazy, you could come over the top. He right.
And that's why he moved around and box him. You know, to hit him with the combo, boom, boom, keep on moving. And again, Ramirez had, I mean, he had dead. You can look, he had dead feet.
Devin was hooked.
He couldn't move.
You think that Devin Haney
And overhand rights.
You believe that Devin Haney is going to continue to fight that way?
It depends on who he's facing.
Facing, right.
So let me ask you a question. He fought somebody that's pretty much in the grave right now. Okay,
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yo, that's crazy. But you thought McCumbee wasn't in the grave to fight.
Better than him.
To fight Edgar Berlanga.
Are you serious?
Come on, dude. Stop, bro. Nobody care about nobody in this chat. Care about McCumbee.
McCumbee is still a better opponent than what he had at that.
You're telling me right now. How is he? Hold on. How is McCumbee better than a former unified world champion?
Former. That was about 10 years ago.
It don't matter. McCumbee never been there.
He's done. The guy's done. McCumbee's not done. McCumbee's in his prime, bro. McCumbee's in his prime. This guy's done.
Y'all thought I was joking that this man really believes this shit, right? I hear he is.
You guys believe the fact that you guys believe that Devin Haney
was one of the number one dudes
was
at 140. It wasn't that long ago. We're not talking about 10, 11 years ago. It was like 5, maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Is he finished or not?
Go ahead, Norb. Go ahead.
No, I'm not you. I'm talking about the fight. I apologize. I wasn't coming at you. I'm saying the fight.
The reason he's still up here is because I'm amused. I'm being entertained by this. You know, people
don't get me wrong. He definitely ain't boring, Norbs. His viewpoints may be a little off, but you ain't boring, brother.
You're telling me right now, Devin Haney calling out guys like Boots Ennis, you give him a shot?
I don't give T.O. a shot. T.O. calling him out.
I give T.O. a better shot than Devin.
Man, yeah.
Devin with T.O. right now? You think Devin can beat Teofimo Lopez right now?
I don't know. It got to happen. T.O. got to stop calling people out and not making fights happen.
Not making a fight.
You know who he reminds me of, Norbs? He reminds me of Tay-Rock. Always about to fight.
I don't know nothing about battle rap. We're talking about boxing now. You're telling me Devin Haney
don't even like
better than Teofimo Lopez?
Now he don't know nothing about. All right. Okay. I'll rock with you on that. You heard? I'll rock with you.
I named Telefucko, man. I don't like Telefucko. He tell too many stories for me. You want to fight? You fight.
They keep saying that that's your Brooklyn brother.
No,
from Florida.
No.
I like Teofimo. I'm a big Teofimo fan. I like Teofimo a lot.
We ain't claiming them.
We ain't claiming.
I mean, Edgar Berlanga and all of them and Hitchison's say the same thing, like because he didn't grow up here.
I don't give a shit if he grew up in fucking Pakistan. Teofimo was a dog. I'm sorry.
He's a dog. He look. I will say this.
He's also a racist.
T.O. didn't look spectacular last night neither, but from what everybody told me, he allegedly looked the best at it.
He did look the best last night out of everyone.
Trash.
It could have been better.
He didn't look better than Devin?
T.O. looked like trash to me.
Cano, I'm gonna fucking choke you. You just said that Devin looked better than Teofimo Lopez?
I'll tell you what, Norbs. If Devin and T.O. make a fight, we're gonna bet a stack on it.
I wouldn't want to take your money, but I would definitely. Listen, I wouldn't take your money. This is what I would do. You have to take all the Puerto Rican stuff down from your house and put up all Dominican flags for a month.
Never gonna do that.
A month.
He can do that.
A month.
That's crazy.
But he's not gonna kill Cano. This is the most prideful Puerto Rican I know. I have to go for the gusto. No way does Devin Haney beat Teofimo. No way. No way in hell. No way.
Well, which Telefino?
Dance off probably.
Which Telefino we talking about then?
Teofimo's
because you never know what version of T.O. Good point. You never know what version of T.O.
In a big fight like that, T.O.'s pulling up.
You never know what version you're gonna get.
T.O. ain't no dog. I'll smack the shit out of him if I see him.
Oh my Stop it. I don't care if you slap the shit out of him. He's still a dog. He's still one of the best fighters out there. How do you
I don't know
how
about
do you
that.
sit there and say
You reaching with
you
that.
think Devin is
That's
better
cap.
than Teofimo Lopez?
I'm not saying who's better. He's not one of the best fighters out there.
Is he
He's
better than
talented.
Devin?
He ain't one of the best fighters. Boots, you could say, is one of the best fighters out there. Somebody like that. I don't think Tio is.
So
is
you
one
said
of the best.
Tio's is in the same class of Boots Ennis?
He no. I think
You
he
don't
get
get
and
anything
look.
emailed to
I
him.
hope that fight gets made
Tio
so that
is more
Tio can
accomplished.
get
I don't
more.
think Tio beats Boots, to be honest with you, but Tio is more accomplished. He's done more in the game. That's
Hey,
not even
shout out to
arguable.
Cash App, right? But he did say something real truthful. Tio did duck Devin.
Of course. Of course.
He did duck Devin.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Who do you think is a better dancer, Chris Brown or Devin Haney?
Man, what that got to do with shit?
That's what he did last night.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
No, he didn't, bro.
I think he'd give Chris Brown a run
And
for
who's
his
a
money.
bigger junkie, Ryan or Al Green? We don't know. You know what I mean?
What? Ryan still beat the brakes off of him. What are we talking about right now?
Yeah, on that stuff though. You know what he was on.
Yeah.
You know what he was on.
Yo,
He was on that. He was on that stuff they gave Captain America. Don't cap.
Not the blue serum. Not that.
Yeah, he was on that soldier serum. Yup, he sure was.
You just see the difference, man, in Ryan's physique being a clean fighter.
Right.
Listen, I think everything that transpired, I thought should have got suspended longer. Listen, I'm not on Ryan's side with that situation at all. I think they gave him a slap on the wrist. He was dirty. This is a sport where you can die. I'm not on Ryan's side for cheating. No, I'm not with that.
I could never side with Ryan or Tio. They're both racist. I don't fuck with people like that.
Oh my god. Let's take all that out of the way. As a fighter, forget the racist part. You believe Devin is a better fighter?
Right. Yeah, I do.
Devin was actually undisputed. Tio wasn't. Tio false claims a lot of stuff.
I think I'm not knocking Devin. I think Devin was past tense, was a very good fighter before the beating he took. What he showed me last night.
And he had one of those belts that he avoid fighting, right? What's the name of that belt again, brother? That you had before? He had one of the belts that he
I
avoid.
couldn't hear you underrated. You sound
you hear me now?
My point is this. Listen, I'm not taking
shit.
I couldn't really hear what he said, but what I'm saying is I didn't hear what you said, but what I'm saying is Devin used to be a really good fighter. What he showed me last night showed me a broken fighter. That's not
what did Ryan show you? I'm just asking.
Ryan showed me what he's been, Ryan. Ryan's a very
so you never thought much. You never thought much.
I'm sitting here and I'm a Ryan a fanatic. No, that's not what I'm saying. Ryan is what we got yesterday. Ryan is a guy that fights with his chin up in the air, very inconsistent, and relies on one shot to win a fight. Doesn't throw enough punches.
Okay.
I'm not sitting here saying I think Devin is actually was the better fighter. But what I'm saying is
better fighter.
Right now, that's a broken man.
No, he's not.
Okay.
So are you saying mentally or physically or both?
Oh, it's all mental. I think, listen, Devin has the tools. He has the tools. I just feel like what he's been through, and this is being completely honest, what he's been through, not just in the ring, but everything he's had to deal with his father putting all this stuff on him and getting attacked for the lawsuits and all that. I was with Devin. I could pull up blogs saying that he should have sued him for what transpired because he cheated. I was on Devin's side for all that. So if you guys think I'm a Devin hater, you're bugging. I was actually, when he sued him for unjust enrichment, I was like, he's right, because this man cheated and was rewarded wrongfully for cheating, and he made money, and Devin ended up losing money because now all of a sudden nobody wants to bid for his big fights. He's not getting the numbers he was. So I agreed with Devin Haney. All I'm saying, and I'm not a Devin Haney hater because I actually think Devin is a talented fighter. What I saw last night was a broken fighter, someone that was scared to get hit. This is even when Devin is when Devin's at his best, he's not running like that. He's controlling the tempo. He's doing what he's doing. That's how Devin fights. That last night was it was terrible. Devin's still undefeated. Devin has 2 losses. Let's be honest.
No, he don't. No, he
Now he
don't.
got 2
No.
losses.
The
I got
one
to-
next
Oh,
to
you
the-
think he lost to Lomachenko? You one of those
No, no,
people.
no, no, no. I had him beating. I had him beating. I'm talking about the one in Mexico they
So
erased.
what other fight did you
I'm talking
feel
about
like
the
he
one in
lost?
Mexico they took off his record. All I'm saying is this.
Oh, you talk about the fake one in Mexico that we
The fake one in Mexico. But the one that he did suffer, regardless if the L is off of his record, in his mind, it still lives in there. I don't care how many times he says, I'm 32-0. In his mind, and what we saw last night, it's living rent free in his head.
Norbs, we can't believe that whole Mexico getting taken
That
off
was
the
a
record.
joke. It was like a sidebar from all the stuff that went down. But I'm just
Okay,
speaking
okay.
truthfully.
Okay.
You can't erase what transpired that night. I don't care if it doesn't say it on his record books. Mentally, it has definitely taken an effect on Devin Haney.
I don't see that.
Okay.
I don't
See it
see
either,
that.
man.
Okay. When we see his next fight, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to see him versus Ryan in October, and I don't even
Why
think
not?
Turkey wants to make it. I wouldn't be surprised if Turkey turns around and says, "You got to do something else. I'm not paying for you versus Mario Lopez. I'm not doing that."
Why he got to be Mario Lopez?
I mean, 'cause you can dance. I mean, they can both on the show.
this dude Norbs is funny.
Okay. Well, look, I don't. It's cool. I let people have their own opinion. I'm not gonna do him like that. I mean, it is what it is. I don't agree with Norbs, but I gotta let him have his opinion. So since you feel that way, though, who do you think Devin should fight next? Then, like, what would reasonably make you say, okay, if he fights this dude and does this, I can see he's back. Like, who would be that?
To be honest with you, I don't care who it is. It's what I want to see in the ring from Devin. I had a lot of concerns, and I expressed this prior to this fight. Devin's mentality or everything he's went through. I feel like he should have fought a lot earlier. I feel like people underestimate mental health. You know what I'm saying? And Devin has been through something traumatic. You know what I'm saying? So I was very concerned with that. I just want to see him get back to the great Devin we've seen, not what we saw last night. And I really felt like last night was like in what do you call it? Was the hangover of what transpired versus Devin? I mean versus Ryan. So it doesn't matter who he fights to me. I just want to see him back to where he was, dominating fighters with his jab and doing those type of things. It's not a matter of who it is; it's a matter of what I see from Devin at this point.
I see it that he was mentally there, and as I said, until somebody make Devin change how to fight, Devin going do what he has to do. That's the way I see it. I see it last night that he bossed brilliantly. Now the people that he bossed brilliantly, yes he did. And so remember
Norbs, you a hater, Norbs.
I'm not. I'm really not, bro. That was fucking terrible. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, all right, this is what I'm saying. Did Ramirez, when Ramirez was pushing Devin, did he throw any punches?
I said it was a draw. They both sucked. I didn't say he was any better than Devin. They were both terrible. But I expected that from Ramirez. I didn't expect that from Devin.
Hey, I got Stormy B Man on the panel, man. Y'all let him go ahead and get his in now.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Do you think, brother?
What's up,
I'm sorry. I apologize. Go.
Hey, salute, man. I don't know why my camera didn't show up. This is my first time on here on this
Set up,
yeah. But I wasn't trying not to show myself, but
it's
not
okay.
showing the camera. Salute to everybody. Is the conversation still on Devin's performance?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. I felt like initially as the fight started out that he was displaying a little bit of caution and apprehension. But then as the fight went on, what I noticed about his performance is how he approached the fight. It took Ramirez and the Garcia training totally out of what they had prepared to do to him. And he found success in that. What was interesting is this: Ramirez, outside of Devin, was the most accomplished fighter on that card last night, and he was still dangerous. He was looking for an opportunity against a man who had a bad outing in his last time in Devon against Ryan and all of that stuff that went along with the fight. So I'm sure that they game planned to be able to attack him, be aggressive, and look to see if he had taken care of the defensive liabilities that he displayed against Ryan with being caught with left hooks, and Ramirez being a fighter that throws a pretty good left hook himself. And so Haney's game plan of the lateral movement, left and right, not allowing him to pivot, not allowing him to get set, to get off certain shots where he spent a great deal more time in pursuit. And he couldn't adjust to that. He couldn't come out of a situation of where he could be more effective. And therefore, even though I would have liked to see Haney throw more punches, it was enough to offset whatever the plan was from the Ramirez side of things. And it's interesting because when you talk about fighters who have athleticism and fighters who are like plotters and punchers, what they like to say is a guy is running. However, to become a complete fighter, you need to know how to stop. If you're saying a guy is running, stop him from running. And as Joe Louis once said, you can run, but you can't hide in that square jungle. If you haven't been trained to properly close the gap, the distance, and to slide left and right, you will be at a deficit against a guy who has mobility.
So can I stop you there? So you're telling me that if somebody runs, right, like if my great grandfather was chasing my 5-year-old, you would give the 5-year-old the victory because he couldn't catch him without throwing anything significant?
Why is your grandfather fighting a 5-year-old?
He's chasing him. That's what it looked like last night. He looked like my great grandfather chasing a 5-year-old.
Yeah, but is that reality?
You were impressed with Kevin Haney last night.
Is that reality?
The reality was that's what it was last night. You were impressed.
Is that what you just said? A reality?
Is it a reality that you were impressed by that last night?
I asked you a specific question.
Was my grandfather chasing my son? No, he wasn't. But that's what it looked like last night. It was
so let's get back to what I was talking about. You meant to interrupt me because I was making a point to say something that didn't have anything to do with the point that I was making.
Okay. I'm sorry.
What I spoke of specifically was about boxers, fighters, being able to adapt and make adjustments in the midst of a fight. If it is not going your way, you need to find a way to turn things in your favor. If you are accustomed to fighting fighters, training and sparring against fighters that will allow you to do the things where you find comfort, then when you find someone who provides discomfort, that's when adjustments need to take place. What could Ramirez have done last night to be more successful against a guy who would not stand and trade with him? That's a question I'm posing to you.
He needed to cut off the ring better.
Oh,
what? So let me.
Hold on.
So
Hold on. So you are not as dumb as you look. When you say something like that, you are telling me that you are telling me that
hold on, no. Now we're going to go back to this dumb as you look thing. Sir, first of all, you're giving points because somebody couldn't catch someone? That's what
No,
you're saying
you
right now.
just said
Answer
that
the
he
question,
cut
bro.
off the ring better, and
Answer
he
the
did
question.
not.
He didn't cut off the
He
ring
did
better.
not.
But Devin didn't do anything but run.
Devin won.
You were scoring it based upon the fact that he
I
couldn't
didn't tell
catch
you
it.
my score.
What was your score, sir?
I'm not going to speak on my score because that's not what I was talking about.
Okay, continue.
But you just said that Ramirez could have cut off the ring better.
He couldn't, but
That's where it starts right there.
Okay.
See, that's the thing. And again, you did not like Devin's performance.
It's terrible. Yeah.
Well, I did not like Ramirez's performance and
I didn't
lack
like either
of
of them. I
ability
thought it
to
was a draw.
make adjustments.
Mhm.
I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Just a week ago, we saw Eubank Jr. and Connor Ben fight a fight where there was plenty of opportunities for ebb and flow, born out of the action of the fight seemingly going one way. And then in the championship rounds, both guys began to go for broke. They were trying to get at each other, trying to stop the other guy, lay it on the line, and become something that is akin to what their dads had produced. And both men rose to the challenge against one another in doing so. At no point in any of the fights from yesterday's card did any of the 6 men do anything of that nature. Arnold Barboza Jr., if he wanted to win against Tio, he would have had to make an adjustment to get aggressive, to bull him, to dog him, to put him into a dog fight. But he didn't. He was complacent and he continued to fight the same way, even though he threw a few shots that got Tio's attention. Somebody was hitting Tio. I didn't see the ref throw a punch, but you saw the end result of his face markings, right? So just imagine if he had put Tio into a dogfight. It's called making adjustments. And typically when a guy makes adjustment in boxing, the smart fighter will adjust to his adjustment. Usually when you see it happen one way, the fight will go that way, and that's how it goes for the rest of the way. That's what happened in Tio's fight. That's what happened in Haney's fight. Ramirez didn't make an adjustment. Barboza Jr. didn't make an adjustment. And so you had the guys who were out front, remained out front in the distance, whether you liked how they fought or not. I'm done.
Norris, I can't believe you sent me something. Tag me in something with that dude's name on it.
Oh, I don't know. Well, you don't fuck with Ray? That's my guy.
I don't fuck with Ray at all.
I didn't know. I apologize. I didn't know. Now I can finally get a word in. Tio fought and dominated the fight, landed shots. He didn't have his ballet shoes on, and pureed through the entire fight. Completely different. He scored. Devin was not scoring. He was dancing. Excuse me. Fuck. Let me send a drink.
I can't believe you didn't see Devin landing his punches. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, he landed the lowest amount of punches in the history of boxing.
Where?
No, listen, I can't believe that to even compare Tio's performance to Devin's is absolutely absurd. To be honest with you, that's fucking crazy. Because Tio actually looked good. This man looked petrified at that fight. Crazy.
Tio looked good. Oh yeah, Norris, you
looked a lot better than Devin. He looked way better than Devin. I'm sorry, and he had a better opponent.
Really?
Yes.
You're trolling today. You're trolling.
I can't believe I'm having this conversation with these fucking guys. This is fucking crazy. This
I can't believe that you are saying that was a draw.
Oh, it was terrible. It was one of the worst fights I've ever seen. I'm still gonna stick to it's a draw. It was fucking terrible. It should have been scored 9-9 the entire way.
This is unbelievable, man. Norbs, out of all people, I would have never guessed you would have said some shit like that. I would have never guessed you could have fished your mouth to say that.
No, I guess, man.
I'm shocked. I'm beyond shocked.
Yeah. I guess. Man.
I thought it was a beautiful game plan, honestly, because of the style he was fighting. I thought it was beautifully executed.
Yeah.
Only thing that I could say is, yeah, he might have could have thrown a couple of more punches per round, but
What's your favorite movie? Save the Last Dance?
either way, I don't watch movies, but either
You
way,
got served.
either way,
Yo,
I don't
Beat
watch.
Street.
Either way, Devin outlanded and beat Ramirez every round. It's just that simple.
There were rounds where they both didn't even land punches. That's absolutely.
When?
There were rounds that was scored that didn't actually land punches. That's crazy.
When?
You send me the copy boxes
I
numbers.
gotta look it up right now.
Okay.
I do appreciate you for giving me some funny shorts though, because these are gonna be funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Put them out there. Put them out there, man.
They gonna be funny as fuck. They better, what the fuck? They gonna be saying the same thing as Wayne said. Yo, he need to stick to battle rap.
Yeah, I've never even done that stuff.
Like,
The fact that you were impressed by his performance is absolutely fucking crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's crazy.
I don't understand why. Somebody puts a boxing clinic on, then I'm happy with it. I'll watch boxing. I am watching boxing. I'm not watching.
and let me tell you something, Norbs, not to cut you off. Even though they did report that was the lowest output, when they got to the Ryan and Rolly fight, that actually ended up taking that.
Here we go.
You know what I mean? So you keep saying that, but the Ryan and Rolly fight actually ended up being the lowest output.
Didn't run though. Big difference.
What you mean didn't run? He didn't throw anything.
Ryan never throws a lot
His
of punches.
trainer had to will him into the fight.
He never throws a lot of punches. What fight did you ever see that Ryan threw a shitload of
try
punches?
to will Ryan into the fight, and he didn't even
What
listen.
fight have you ever? Listen, I'm not giving you. You're giving Devin a pass by acting as if I said Ryan was fucking impressive. Never did I say Ryan was good at all.
Nah, you didn't. And I asked you that. You
didn't.
didn't, but I'm just saying you keep harping on highlighting
Because
Devin.
that's what you guys called me on here. You said the question was, no, if you had, this is a draw. And I said, this was one of the piss poor performances I've ever seen. I could not understand why they were giving anybody rounds. I was actually scoring a Jim Lampley 12-0 against everybody. He was destroying them last night. It was fucking terrible what I was watching. Sorry. If you guys believe that Devin's going to continue to be successful fighting like that, then there's something coming to you in the next fight. If he goes up to 147, he fights Brian Norman, he's going to sleep. If he fights Boots, he's going to sleep if he fights like that.
Sorry. And you think Teofimo could
better
do
than
something
them,
with Brian
absolutely.
Norman?
He will fight a better fight than Devin, yes.
Oh yeah, you talk about better fights, but would he win?
I never said he beat Boots. I think Boots is one of the most talented fighters out there.
What about Brian Norman?
It's another good fight. It's a good fight. It's a tough fight.
But who would you pick? Who would you put your money on? Norbs, you from New York, so you're going to bet on somebody. Who would you bet on?
It's a tough fight, man. But I will say this. I would favor Boots against Teofimo. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit, but it would be a better fight than Devin.
Hey, man, Eric Jordan back in the cash app, man. He says T.O. fans got more fucked up than Devin's.
What?
It's Cash App, man. I'm reading to you the Cash App, man.
I didn't see it. I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he's right. What I'm trying to figure out is how do you not understand that each fight is going to bring a different characteristic into the bout? Do you actually think that the next opponent that Devin fights is going to be a different style? You're going to see a different Devin in that fight. You're not going to see the same game plan every single fight.
How many times have you seen Devin fight? How many times have you seen Devin fight?
Hey, I mean, it's always all about adjustments, right?
How many times have you seen Devin fight in his career?
His whole career.
Okay. When have you ever seen that? That you saw last night?
What, him moving?
That, whatever that was last night. When did you see that in Devin's career?
What, displaying lateral
that was displaying lateral movement, or was that the running man?
I mean, that's part of boxing, right?
Oh.
Is it?
So you want people, you like the blood and guts
bro,
warriors.
My favorite fighter of all time.
You
my
want to see
favorite fighter of all time is Floyd Mayweather. That's my guy. Okay. It's not about sitting there blood and guts and sticking it out there. It's the fact that he did not fight like Devin Haney. I'm sorry. He looked extremely cautious. He looked damn near scared in the ring last night. I'm sorry. If you guys do not choose to see that, that's on you guys. But he looked petrified in the ring.
So what fights was Devin Haney?
Go back to what I
Could
said.
you
He fought
initially,
Moses,
with
when
my comment.
he fought Pro Graves. Guys, he fought his fight. This was not Devin Haney. This was, I don't know what the fuck that was. I don't know what that was last night. I'm
That
sorry.
was his fight. That was his fight.
No, have you seen him ever fight like that, Gano? Against who? Tell me.
It's the first opponent he had like that. Of course, it's not. You're not going to see it before.
So that guy was more dangerous than Pro Graves and everybody else he's fought.
My God,
More decorated than Pro Graves for certain.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was in the division at the same time. He's right. Stormy definitely right about. He was unified champion at that time.
And Pro Graves wasn't looking to fight him either.
And he dominated him. This guy was not looking to fight him. He couldn't even move.
No, I said Pro Graves was not looking to fight
10,000-pound gorilla on
Ramirez.
his back.
He wasn't looking to fight Ramirez.
Bro, but he's, even when Devin fights a fight where he's being cautious with his stick. He's being cautious by controlling it. That is not how he fights. I don't want to hear that shit.
Now, I heard the elements of that earlier. The guys already said if he sticks his left out and he gets into a rhythm of jabbing like that, Ramirez's game plan was to counter the shots
the left
that he put out.
Yes.
So therefore, if he gave him no space to do what they had trained to do, that means that Ramirez had to find a different way. You tried this lock, the door didn't open. You tried that lock, the door didn't open. You tried the lock in the back, the door didn't open. So now you got to break some glass. You understand?
So, brother Story People, can I ask you a question, right? Because you've been around boxing, right? When you train a boxer, right? Brother Ken, you can get into it to brother, right? When you train a boxer, right? You train a fighter to make sure how to adjust, right? Am I correct? Am I correct on that?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I need to. So they're actually letting me know. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. That wherever Ramirez was trained, they did not train him to adjust.
Right, because they assumed that Devin would fight a certain kind of way. Remember, against Ryan, he showed moxie that they didn't even think he had, but he did it. And then when he did it, they didn't give him credit for it because they were so enamored that Ryan knocked him down 3 times. But he got up 3 times. And he took the fight to Ryan each and every time. Even when it wasn't in his best interest, he was doing so. So they didn't give him credit for that. So in this fight, a fighter who is a far better fighter than Ryan Garcia, a far dangerous threat than Ryan Garcia, a guy that Ryan Garcia was offered the fight, but he turned it down and accepted Rolly. Devin fought this man and took him out of his comfort zone. And he showed the limitations. Barbosa Jr. fought the same guy and fought him more in personal space and still defeated him. But how many rounds did you give Ramirez against Devin as opposed to when he fought Barbosa Jr.? As far as I'm concerned, it was a wash with Devin. And he never made the proper adjustment to be able to be better in the fight. At least in the second half of the fight, you get to rounds 8 and 9. I got to do something different if I want to win. I got to get in there, cut the distance, close the gap. And guess what? In order to do that, you got to take some shots. Now, you might say that Devin wasn't in the fight, punching or whatever, but if Ramirez got within too close of a proximity, that would have given him opportunities. And to me, that could be looked at like maybe Ramirez was hesitant to gamble and risk too because of what was coming back at him.
And some stuff was landing on him heavy.
Yes.
That's the part I don't understand that Norbs didn't see, man. Devin caught him with some nice uppercuts, some nice right hands that had Ramirez thinking 3 times before coming back in.
Right. He was hesitant. Every time he get hit, you could tell he was like this, like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I thought the game plan was perfect, man. I would have you take away Ramirez's game plan, and what's he got? Nothing. He had nothing to fall back on. That's what you're supposed to do. Play chess with him, not checkers. And I know you're not over there on Twitter. You're about to tag me on some bullshit either.
Oh no! I was watching the greatest dance moves, and Devin Haney actually made it last night. So
See, I can't believe I don't understand you, bro.
I'm befuddled at you brothers right now. I am absolutely fucking befuddled. I'm sitting here. I'm just like, I was texting a couple pros right now, and they're telling me you guys definitely smoked something early. What? Please, what did you guys smoke this morning?
Who you texting? Jamel Harry?
I don't
smoke.
Wait a minute. Who you texting? Jamel Herring, the one that got schooled by Shakur? That's who you texting?
There's a couple other people, but you know.
Because Jamel Herring ain't got no room to talk. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
He ain't no runner. He's not a runner, he's a track star.
Mm-hmm.
Devin gonna run away when he gets
Bro, I don't care who you think I care who you text, man.
God, you my guy. You guys, I appreciate you guys, man. I'm not gonna front.
You know, I got the same ability to text these boxers too, right?
I don't know. I'm just answering the text. I'm not saying you don't. I mean, I didn't know that was the next question we were gonna have.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't have anybody tell me that on my text from boxers.
Okay, hey, listen, man.
You got a different group of boxers over there, don't you?
Yeah, you know, they're not really into dancing, so.
Well. It must have not been the creme de la creme, man. You could tell them I said that too. You could tell them I said that too. You know I got my stable.
Yeah.
You know I got my stable. So hey, you know, I know Jamel Herring is one of them. So you know what I'm saying? I know who you rock with.
I'm not going to a lot of people.
I can understand that if it's switched, right? If it's even. But you got 1, 2, 3, 4 that actually seen the same fight.
Heart broke so deep it broke into a melody like this.
Why you play like no bro? Listen, man.
I mean, I appreciate you guys, man. I gotta get out of here, man.
Okay.
I'm about to check into a rehab. You guys are more than all welcome to join me.
You definitely need the rehab. You definitely need something.
Therapist.
Maybe you need something to drink.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you at all. Yeah, keep talking. We can't hear it. I got the control here, bro.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. I appreciate you guys. You know what I mean? I gotta get up out of here.
All right, man.
Man, stay off that stuff. You know what I mean?
I appreciate you at least showing your face, bro.
Listen, that's what I do. Next Devin fight, we will all talk, and you can tell me his amazing game plan. And you know, I did like his outfit last night. I liked his outfit.
Oh my goodness, bro! This dude's
that's the only thing he complimented him on. That's crazy.
You trolling. You really
that's
trolling.
crazy.
Yeah, he's a troll.
That's crazy. His fit. That's what you gave him credit for.
That was dope. It was dope. It was nice. And I like the shoes.
Wow, that's crazy. That's how Brooklyn do. That's how they do over there. Over here, man.
She's a runner. She's a track star. She gonna run.
All right.
You know we're not gonna have that here, bro. Hey, you might as well go ahead and exit stage, man. 'Cause I'm not gonna let you play that dumb shit here.
I Norbs. We'll see you the next time Devin fight. Please bring him on. Please.
I hope it's not gonna be right.
Please bring him on next time Dev fight. Please.
Hey, I just want to know one last thing. Did you call Flats? Did he think the same thing that you?
I haven't spoken to Flat. You know, he's probably going to tell me that was great. He was so great. Anybody who thinks
That's why he ain't gonna call him. That's why he ain't gonna call him.
He's making my point. He calls selection fighters. He won't
She gon' do the crazy
When it
like
gets
this one. Love is a game.
why do we got to do this? Why do we got to do this? Why does he got to make me mute him, bro? What are you trying to do, man?
song for the event. No,
No.
I'm out of here, guys. I appreciate y'all.
All right, bro. Let's take care.
God bless y'all. See you later.
Yo, peace, man.
Damn, I couldn't remember. God bless. Not counting.
Man,
He wasn't lying, Kano. That dude.
I told you he wasn't lying, man. Let me go ahead and give you a little build on it, though. Norris, you know, he was, you know, involved in the beginning of the New York battle rap and stuff like that. He's really not. He's talking boxing now only because of Flats, but this ain't his thing. This ain't his thing. That's why I kind of gave him some loose leash and shit and let him kind of talk a little bit, man. I'm not going to sit here and crucify the man or anything like that, man, but his take on Devin Haney is completely off, and I'm at the point where I just think he's just trolling at this point, man. I have known him for a lot of years. I know everybody who he's involved with. That's why I kind of take it with a grain of salt and shit like that, but I was still shocked at some of the shit he said. I ain't gonna lie. I was still shocked.
It don't shock me no more. It don't shock me no more. You gotta understand, this man came from battle rap. He came from Smack. You know Smack. Yeah, so that's where I knew him from, like setting up the battle rap league. That's why I said what I said, Kano. He need to stay over there in the battle rap world.
Yeah. What's going on, Teach?
What's good, Teach?
All right, so this is the way that I saw the Devin fight, right? So I didn't expect Devin to come in there and move that much, right? In my opinion, I felt Devin was kind of timid because, you know, he didn't want to get, you know, hit, right? That was my opinion. Especially since rematch with Ryan going on, he had to go in there and try to win comfortably. I expected the fight to turn out more of like Regis, the way how Devin fought Regis. And then the more I was watching that fight, is like, is Devin moving too much, or is the ring too small? Is he moving the same, except, you know, the ring was too small? And in my opinion, the ring was very small. Every time he backed up, he was against the ropes. So, and obviously Jose could have also adjusted. He turned out at the end to stop punching for some reason. I don't know why he stopped punching. Sorry.
That's the police going to go get Norbs. That's the police about to go get Norbs. Listen, man, listen.
Got the sirens going off.
Yeah. I know they went to go get Norbs, man. Listen, man, this is very basic and simple, man. I said this, man. The backstage, I was with Shawa, so y'all didn't get the privilege to hear me talking about this in real time while it was happening, man. I understood the assignment. I understood the game plan. I understood what he was seeing. I understood what the training camp focused on going into this fight. I saw it, you know, and that's why I felt that he performed great, because no, it wasn't flashy. Does it need to be? Does it need to be flashy all the time? No. He knew that Ramirez, I don't know if they had some inside track or what, but he knew that Ramirez was looking for that jab to throw that left hook. So how do you stop that? Don't throw that jab. If you notice, Haney was throwing hooks, uppercuts, and straight rights. Hooks, uppercuts, straight rights, sometimes overhand right. He was landing them things too, you know, and his movement, I explained backstage to Shawa the reason he's moving, and she could tell you if I'm lying or not. I said this in the first couple of rounds. The reason he is moving is because he is not allowing Ramirez to sit down so he could throw his punches. Ramirez needs to be still to get his punches off. That's his style. So if you're a smart trainer, you're going to train him to do that. In other words, you're freezing Ramirez.
And I wasn't even there for that conversation, but isn't that what I said in my dialogue? Or what? Didn't I say that?
I don't understand how this is boxing 101. I don't get it, man. Like, I don't understand how people don't see this. You're not gonna fight every fight, which is what I was trying to tell Norbs. You're not gonna fight with the same game plan every fucking fight. It depends who you have in front of you.
A lot of people don't understand the refinement of boxing. Some of them got the impression that it's two men in the middle of the ring mixing it up and going for it against each other or whatever. And nothing could be further from the truth, which is why I often advise people, hey, just go watch boxing. Don't just watch who you're familiar with or whatever. Watch boxing. You can watch guys that are coming out of Mexico. You can watch guys that are coming out of Europe. You can watch guys that are fighting internationally, cross country, whatever, through various weight classes. But the whole point of it is to get the understanding about what you're looking at. Because though there are people with different attributes and talents, the execution of what they do, outside of someone being what we would consider unorthodox, there is a limit to what a boxer does, a puncher does, a fighter does, because those are three different: boxer, puncher, fighter. Now, you can be a combination of one or more of those, but what defines you is your flexibility. When you run across someone on the other side and they present you with a set of problems that you have to resolve. And fighters who are limited complain. Oh, he was holding me. Oh, he was running. Oh, he was mauling me. He was hitting me with his head. He was hitting me low. Are any of those things that I just gave as a comment that you've heard fighters say, are any of those things resolvable?
Of course they are.
Exactly. So what you complaining about? It's time to learn how to get through these circumstances so you can come out on top. You can, oh, he was holding me. I remember watching a Mike Tyson fight. I believe it may have been Tyson against Pinkland Thomas, or it could have been someone else. But Tyson comes back to the corner and he tells Kevin Rooney, Rooney is telling him, you need to work on the inside. You need to do this. And Tyson said, he's holding me. And Kevin Rooney tells him, because that's when HBO used to have those mics right there in the corner.
Yep.
Kevin Rooney, he used to always talk in Mike's ear. He would lean over his shoulder, put his hand around his back like this, and he'd say, bullshit, you letting him hold you. Don't give me that shit. Get out of there. Work out of there. This is how Kevin Rooney would talk to him. And then Mike would go out there, and whatever Kevin is telling him to do, he would start executing. But in those moments where he was looking to resign, meaning let the other guy have his way, that means that gives you an opportunity to have something to complain about, right? Kevin would take that out of the equation. And see, that's what you don't see a lot of trainers of today doing with fighters. Fighters will find a way to be in a comfort zone, and they'll fight that way the rest of the fight, especially if a trainer allows it. And you have to understand that if he's doing it on fight night, he's doing it in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And those type of practices, you can't expect someone to do it in the fight when all of a sudden the coach is trying to get brave and tell him something, because he knows cameras and mics are on him. That's why I laughed yesterday watching Derek James with Ryan Garcia, because I'm like, look at this fool trying to pretend like he's coaching Ryan to do things that he would never tell him to do in the gym, because we seen Ryan in the gym and his lackluster efforts of shadow boxing, moving with his feet crossed up and all of this. So where the hell is the teaching at? But when the lights go on, now you're trying to make yourself, because if he doesn't do it and if he's not successful, you could say, well, I tried to tell him, but you didn't coach it. You just told him on the night. And you never put him in a place where he had confidence in what you tell him so he can execute.
Right.
You see? That makes all the sense in the world. This is how you can strip it down to the most common place of things. It is right there in front of you. I talk about it all the time. Watch boxing. You'll see this. I give the example last week about Ben and Eubank Jr. You saw those men challenge one another. They stepped up to the plate and they were like, really, there were some moments in that fight. I was like, whoa, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat watching these men go for it. How many times have you seen that in this present era of boxing? Not a lot. But guess what? You could go back to the last era and maybe the era before that. You saw that kind of stuff all the time. You remember guys fighting like Michael Moore and what's his name? Alex Stewart. Those guys, wars, Burt Cooper and Ray Mercer. You know, you would see that stuff all the time. You don't see it too much now. And the guy's always talking about, you know, what has that dude done? What is he? But it's like, why are you putting your potential contemporary opponent down when you should build him up and then go out there and beat him? So because you put value in him, people say, well, let's see it. We want to see that. And when you beat him, people give you credit.
Yeah.
But if you discredit them, say they ain't fought nobody, they ain't got no resume, haven't done this, haven't done that, and you ain't fighting them either, what are people going to do?
Right.
So Eric Jordan said to check your cash app.
And to what Storm was saying, like I definitely agree with that. It was kind of like when Norbs came up here on the stage and he was saying he wanted to see Trevor McCumbee, and we was literally what Storm came in and said. I said that before Stormy got in here. I said, so the person at Devon Ford was more accomplished than McCumbee, but you want to see McCumbee fight Belanga, and Belanga is potentially going to have a better opponent than McCumbee. Yeah, Hamza Shiraz is moving up, but I'd rather see Edgar Belanga fight Hamza Shiraz over Trevor McCumbee. He was talking about stylistic stuff because McCumbee came forward and, you know, he was fighting Caleb Plant, and that was ultimately his demise. His strength became his greatest weakness.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
because
and you know what was amazing about that McCumbee Plant fight there?
Yeah.
Because Breadman, again, a good quality,
Yeah.
great coach, right? What he made Caleb realize is that all the work you've done in the gym, all the training you've done, all the sparring you've had, let's take elements of that and apply it into this fight. You got a big, strong guy in front of you. He ain't never really been in a real fight, but at the same time, he ain't never had to go deep into a fight either. So let's take his strengths away from him. Caleb immediately put that guy, after some instructions from Breadman, he put him in a position where he had to fight.
Yep.
And then when he found out that, oh, this fighting, I'm tired. Uh-oh. We're just getting started.
Exactly.
We're just getting warmed up. You tired already? Fat. Right upside your head some more. And next thing you know, McCumbee was out of there.
Yep.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? It ain't a race. It's a marathon. And the most quality of coaches and trainers always prepare you in that manner. Mm-hmm. It ain't how you start.
It's how you finish.
How you finish. Yep.
So
definitely, man. Damn, I didn't think we was gonna go this long. Shit.
We that's cause Norbs was out of his mind. I knew you look. See, we gotta show them the other side of that. Somebody that you rock with that actually, who I underestimated, your boy from Boston. I would love for you to bring him back. I forgot my man's name that you
Hey, Dig, man,
came up with.
yeah,
Yeah, him. He know his stuff. See,
yeah.
Storm and number one grinder would be probably like, yo, you wouldn't expect a dude like him. He didn't look like he was in the boxing to me. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
But
let me tell
he
you,
knew his stuff. He knew his stuff.
the crazy part about K Diggs is, man, we was in the streets all the time in Boston, man. I didn't even know he knew that much boxing.
He surprised me
Oh,
when he got on here because you was talk about you. I thought y'all was gonna talk about life stuff. He started being like, nah, who y'all like with this person that, and he even knew the people that ain't too popular. So I was impressed because I'm always expecting to talk boxing with guys like y'all,
yeah.
but
He
when it's
got that
somebody like that's out of the culture, and to hear, him, know his stuff, I was really impressed. I love to chop it up with him again.
And I never seen him watch boxing when we was out on them streets, man. What I think happened there, man, I never talked to him or asked him about it, man. But I think when he did his long bid in prison, I think he was studying a lot of boxing. I think that's how he passed his time. It had to be, bro.
They be giving him the fights in jail. I had a cousin in
Yeah,
jail. He used to be watching all the pay-per-views.
yeah. So because when he came out, man, and he came on our show, that's all he was talking, man. Oh, and fuck all that shit we did, Kono. Let's talk about this boxing, man. And that brought a smile to me, but I didn't know he was that well versed on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He shocked me. And that's a dude that I've been around all. Hey, look, man, boxing is one of those sports, man, that people will gravitate to, man. And they will, man.
And let me add something else to what you were saying earlier, Kano, when you said that about the Ramirez camp being prepared for Devin to throw that jab out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you watch the Rolly and Ryan fight, Ryan was looking for the same thing.
Yes, he was.
But Rolly was doing it different. Rolly was stabbing him in the pit of his stomach.
Yep.
And that takes your stamina away and takes your legs away, especially if you can't defend that. There are ways to defend someone trying to stab you in the stomach like that, but Rolly was doing it in a way where it was off rhythm. You couldn't tell when he's going to do it. And then he had this little feint he was doing that I loved last night. He would do this little, like he was getting ready to throw something, and Ryan would be like, and then he would go right back to stabbing him in the stomach, man. I was like, Rolly fought a very smart fight. I don't know who that old guy was that was in his corner.
That's Ismael Salas, the old Cuban trainer. You don't remember him? Yeah, he coached
well,
a few of them.
I didn't.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah, that Coach Ugas.
Ugas, right.
He used to be in Joe
man,
Joyce corner.
He had Rolly prepared, brother. He had him prepared. And you, again, I talk about this. Quality coaches, they can coach you through the storm, man. It's like they can bring you through. And you could tell Rolly listened to him. Ryan he may have landed a couple of left hooks last night, but nothing real meaningful to put Rolly in jeopardy or anything. And once he realized that he couldn't do that, it was like he quit. But he is what we used to call game quitter, meaning that you made a decision that you're just gonna go this way until the end. It's like I'm not gonna let him knock me out. I'm not gonna take no risks, but it's gonna be like this to the end. And that's what Ryan did. That's what Barbosa Jr. did. And see, when you watch boxing, you have to learn what that means. A game quitter. That don't mean somebody not coming out to answer the bell or taking a knee to the final count and things like that. It can also mean not putting forth the effort because you are afraid of the outcome or that your effort's not going to be good enough or whatever. And the good quality coaches are not going to let you do that. They're not going to let you be resigned to that within yourself. They're not.
So he gave up the second round, Storm, when he got hit with a left.
No,
hook.
it wasn't then, because when he got up, he wasn't hurt, but he was surprised. He didn't know that Rolly would be that damn strong because Rolly didn't even catch him clean.
Yeah,
He
did.
caught him.
Yeah.
He caught him and grazed him, but the strength threw his ass to the canvas. And you could see, like, he was like, uh-oh. So what his thought was like, well, let me show him my hook. But Rolly never gave him the chance.
Nope.
And so after that, he realized, well, shit, it's the 5th round now. It's like, that's why Ryan had no confidence in jabbing or anything, because he hadn't practiced. He hadn't trained for those things. You see, when you got a trainer that just kind of let you do your own thing, remember, you heard Joe Goosen say, well, Ryan's the kind of guy you just kind of let him do his thing. No. You're going to do it like I'm telling you to do it. You're going to get out of my gym.
I heard that's how Reynoso was. That's why he ended up leaving.
well, no, but see, Reynoso also recognizes that they got enough heat on their gym anyway, because they've had a lot of guys pop dirty over there and everything.
True.
So they don't need that Ryan stuff around. And Canelo, even though Canelo has participated, he's trying to
Separate
himself from that stuff. And that's why they didn't let Ryan back into the graces. But remember, he was originally there.
Yep.
That's where he learned some of the stuff from them.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't learn it through osmosis. Didn't you hear him tell on somebody when he said in that interview leading up the week of the fight, he was like, yeah, there are guys in my camp. He's like, I don't even know how to mask agents or whatever, but there are people in my camp that do. What? He said that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He said that. Just
I didn't even know he said
on
that.
people and everything unintentionally. You know what I mean? So quite naturally, Reynoso and Canelo was like, get this dude away from us.
Because only reason why I brought that up, Storm, is because he said that he was gonna work with Eddie Reynoso again, but the fight date, and you might be right. That might been, and that was an easy out for them to be like, Reynoso gonna rock with his mans. He knew Canelo since he was a kid. You know what I mean? They came up together. So he wasn't going, he was like, nah, that's too, and we got to go all the way to Saudi. So we can't,
do you know how many guys have popped dirty in Reynoso's training graces? Quite a few, man.
Julio Cesar Martinez.
Quite a few.
Only one that didn't probably was, Andy Ruiz and Frank Sanchez. That's it.
Yeah. So,
I
mean,
30. Yep.
And I'm not even trying to turn it into that type of a conversation, but I'm just saying, if you're observant enough to recognize these things, dude, it's not hard to figure out what's going on. It's not.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, man, listen, man, I had to do that, man, because, hey, look, I don't want nobody to get on Norbs too hard,
Nah. He funny.
No, but you know what, Kano, you notice how I pointed out what he said, right? I put it back in his lap. You want to say certain things, but it's got to go across the board. That's why I brought the Barbosa Teofimo situation into the equation. Barbosa, if he had done some adjustments, he could have been more in that fight and possibly even win the fight against Teo, but he wasn't really willing to do those things, just like Ramirez. Well, if you don't make that adjustment, this is what it's gonna be.
I just think he bet on the Devin loss. That's what I think. I think he lost money. That's what I think.
He may have.
Sound like it.
That's what I think. It's all good though, man. Listen, I appreciate everybody getting on here though, man. We've been on for 2 hours and some change already, man. And y'all already know, man. My hour is my cutoff. We done doubled it. Today, man. I appreciate the number one grinder getting on here, man. As always, I appreciate Stormy B, man, as well. And of course, my co-host Acavelli / Wayne / I'm gonna leave the other one off the air, man.
You stupid.
But this is always brought to you. Hey, this is always brought to you by CO Management, DV Tracksuits. Big shout out to the Mighty LDBC. Kano Local TV. Hey, man, we on to the next, man.